Well, I've been spending time in the Psalms lately, and last week I shared with you some thoughts from Psalm 91, which is one of my all-time favorite Psalms. But if you made me narrow it down to a top 3 or 4 Psalms, certainly this one would be in it. You've heard it before, but let me read it to you. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil. Thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou dost prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou hast anointed my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and loving kindness will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Now listen, I could preach a 6-week series on those few verses. In fact, I've done that before. But today, what I want to do is I want to just focus on this one little section in the middle, right? We've been hearing about how the Lord is our shepherd and what that means for us. But in the middle, it says, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. This has been a tough week. I lost 2 people this week that I loved. One, a dear sister in our church family, Nina Huffman, who passed after a long illness. And the other, my favorite uncle, a man of God who has been an example to me for the last 35 years. He succumbed to COVID-19. And we've been mourning, we've been grieving in our house. And that reminded me of Psalm 23 because it says, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil because you're with me. I want you to notice what it says. This shepherd, this God of ours who is our shepherd, he leads us into the valley of the shadow of death. In other words, even if you follow God, there's going to be some times when you're going to walk through some very, very dark valleys. But I want you to notice it doesn't say, even though I walk into the valley of the shadow of death. It says, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. God is leading us through. And whatever your grief, whatever your sadness, whatever your brokenness, whatever your mourning might be today, I want you to remember that what gets us through the valley of the shadow of death is that he is with us. In James it says that if we draw near to God, he'll draw near to us. And so I want to remind you today, draw near to God. This valley is not forever. He'll lead you through. I'll see you next time.